Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast, the territory marked its second same-sex marriage Tuesday. A local couple tied the knot at a Frederiksted beach, becoming the first same-sex couple to be married in St. Croix since it was legalized by the Supreme Court in June and made official locally by executive order in July. NEWS2's Erica Parsons has more.
Deborah Charmaine Andrews, the love of my life, I choose you to be my partner in life.
Misty Dawn, you need no last name. It is my privilege for you to have asked to share mine, and I offer it with great pride.
With the ocean at their side, Misty Williamson and Tabra Andrews vowed their love for each other, making history as St. Croix's first married same-sex couple.
You, Misty, you take Tabra to be your lovely wedded wife. Tabra, take Misty to be your lovely wedded wife.
The two were first in line to get a marriage license after the Supreme Court's June 26th ruling, making same-sex unions legal across the nation. Now, Misty and Tabra are the first to tie the knot on St. Croix. It was also a first for boat captain Tessa Waters, who became an ordained minister of the Universal Life Church on July 4th this year.
Today marks the first time a same-sex residents on St. Croix have ever exercised their legal rights to marry. So it is definitely history in the making.
About 40 people, friends and family gathered to witness the historic union at Dorsch Beach in Frederiksted.
It is showing a new equality for our future. And we've heard around the country of some dissent. But here on this island, we've only had respect and love and support.
And even after it was all over, it was still overwhelming and a little bit unbelievable.
Oh my God, we just got married. Oh my God, it really happened.
Erica Parsons, NEWS2.
Governor Kenneth Mapp signed the executive order to legalize same-sex marriage on July 9th to comply with the High Court's ruling. It became official on July 27th with Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter's signature. Hotel owners in the territory could be looking at higher hotel occupancy taxes to turn over to the government. A measure being proposed at the 31st legislature would raise the current hotel room tax by a quarter of what it is now. And according to the Department of Tourism, they have not received any resistance from hotels. NEWS2's April Knight has details.
A bill to raise hotel room taxes was held in committee Tuesday. The Senate Finance Committee tackled some budget bills to find ways to increase revenue, and one proposed measure was to raise the hotel room taxes from 10% to 12.5%. According to IRB Director Marvin Pickering, it would raise hotel room tax revenues by millions. Tourism Commissioner Beverly Nicholson Doty said increasing the taxes by 2.5% is reasonable.
How do we rate in terms of how we tax our rooms?
Most falling between 10 and 12%, so I think that we would be somewhere right in the middle.
Was there any resistance from the hotel industry in reference to increasing the occupancy tax?
The information was shared with them and none was received.
No resistance was received?
No.
Other destinations also levy hotel room taxes, according to the commissioner, ranging from 5% to 20%, and that's on top of departure fees that the Virgin Islands does not impose.
Every other destination in the region has departure taxes that range from $11.50 to $55 per person. So I think that when you take that into account, that the 2.5% is not onerous.
To maximize the economic benefits of tourism, Commissioner Doty said that aside from aggressive advertising and marketing, the Virgin Islands must take care of its product. That means emphasis on safety and security, events like festivals and carnivals, and proper waste management. Reporting for NEWS2, I'm April Knight.
Again, the bill was held in committee for further consideration. NEWS2 will keep you updated on the status of the hotel room tax bill. Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter advises Virgin Islands residents to safeguard their savings from investment fraud by becoming informed investors. Lieutenant Governor Potter notes that fraudulent schemes may include newspaper advertisements promising free money, unsolicited phone calls or emails promising individuals a supposed high-return, low-risk opportunity, or financial seminars where high-pressure tactics are used to extract monies from investors. Members of the public are also advised that they should always check the background and registration status. Any individual or entity offering investment advice or selling a financial product in the Virgin Islands must be registered with the Division of Banking and Insurance. Well, on Monday, several heads of agencies were sworn in during a ceremony on St. Croix, as we reported. And the following day, Tuesday, a similar ceremony was held for 3 more cabinet members. After 8 months in limbo, the Department of Finance, DP&R, and the Personnel Division now have permanent leaders at their helms. NEWS2's April Knight has that story.
3 more heads of agencies officially took office on St. Thomas Tuesday. Government House was packed as 3 cabinet members were sworn in. Finance Commissioner Valdemar Collins, Department of Planning and Natural Resources Commissioner Don Henry, and Division of Personnel Director Milton Potter all took the oath in the Tuesday ceremony. And according to Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter, it's about time.
Long overdue. It was a little long overdue. I want to again thank the senators for seeing a way to make this happen in the final approval of all the nominees that are no longer going to be acting and everything, but they're going to be official once we leave here today.
Collins, who once stated he aims to increase the government's cash on hand from the usual 16 days to 6 months, said it's not merely up to government heads to turn the financial situation around.
We need you, the people of the Virgin Islands, to help us to deal with the issues, the concerns, and the circumstances that we have confronted in taking over this administration.
In the ceremony, Potter also shared 2 goals that he has for the Virgin Islands workforce as the new personnel director.
1, training and employee development, and 2, employee health and wellness. A well-trained and highly engaged workforce does not happen by accident.
New DP&R Commissioner Don Henry was equally thankful and had a message for her 2 colleagues.
To my colleagues, Milton and Valdemar, we have been given a speck of time, and I thank God that He has chosen both of you.
Reporting for NEWS2, I'm April Knight.
Congratulations to Commissioner Collins of Finance, Commissioner Henry of the DP&R, and Director of Personnel, Potter. Some sad news here. The Honorable Julio A. Brady passed away on September 16th, and the VI community is mourning his loss. Governor Mapp signed a proclamation. The Honorable Julio Brady, he said, gave his life to public service, having served as Lieutenant Governor of the Virgin Islands of the United States, Attorney General for the Virgin Islands, United States Attorney for the District of the Virgin Islands, and most recently as Judge of the Superior Court of the VI in the District of St. Croix. The governor said his distinguished political and legal careers serve as a testament to his commitment to public service and to this territory, and it is fitting that the flags flown on buildings in the territory be flown at half-staff at Government House and upon all public buildings and grounds throughout the territory. The governor said, I am thankful that not too long ago I had the opportunity to spend a Sunday afternoon with him and Gwen at his home. We talked about his health, the politics of the day, and good old-fashioned melee. Senator Kenneth Gittens described him as a man of integrity and fairness, regardless of what others would say or think of him, he said. He said, I pray that our Heavenly Father will shower his blessings and spirit of peace on his wife Gwen, his children Julie and Andrew, and the rest of his family and circle of friends during these difficult moments. Lieutenant Governor Osbert Potter said, I admired and respected him for his legacy and all that he has done for the territory. The territory has lost a gentle giant who had rightfully earned the distinction of being an outstanding Virgin Islander. And we will have more on the Honorable Julio Brady's legacy. Turn our attention overseas. We are just hours away from the second Republican presidential debate at the Reagan Library in California. There are only 2 candidates going into tonight's debate with double-digit approval ratings, and all eyes will be on them. Paul Verkeman is in Simi Valley with an update.
Standing shoulder to shoulder on a crowded debate stage, 15 candidates will make their case as to why they should be the next commander-in-chief.
The debate. I hear they're all going after me. Whatever.
They'll also have to wrestle attention away from frontrunner Donald Trump. Dr. Ben Carson has risen to second in a recent CBS New York Times poll, a position Jeb Bush will try to reclaim. The small crowd of 500 people at the Reagan Presidential Library will actually see 2 debates. First, the candidates at the bottom of recent polls will take the stage. Then the 11 frontrunners face off. The 3 moderators will press the candidates on a wide variety of subjects and promise to keep them on task.
We want debate about policy, about politics, about leadership, about the different things they bring, the different things they have said about each other.
I want to hear what the differences are between these candidates on key issues of national security and domestic policy.
And that's our goal, to actually get them to debate the ideas that the Republican voters care about.
They won't have much time to get off topic. They have a minute to make their point and a 30-second rebuttal. In that short time, they'll all try to get in the best jab that sticks in the memories of voters until Election Day 2016.
This is the only way that some of these candidates are going to be able to break through and really become part of the 24-hour news cycle. You need those one-liners.
In Simi Valley, I'm Paul Verkeman reporting.
Keeping our eye on the economy, stocks posted solid gains Wednesday ahead of a closely watched decision by the Federal Reserve on whether or not to raise interest rates. Energy stocks led an early decline as oil prices slumps. Investors have been speculating about when the Federal Reserve will raise interest rates for months. The Fed started its 2-day policy meeting Wednesday and will announce its decision Thursday afternoon, which will be followed by a press conference by Fed Chair Janet Yellen. Energy stocks also rose after a steeper than expected drop in crude inventories sent oil prices sharply higher. Here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with the Stock Market Watch. Everything up, the Dow 140, NASDAQ 28, S&P 500 17. Coming up on News 2, we'll have an update on the Anguilla landfill and efforts that are underway to stop those fires. Welcome back. The John H. Woodson Junior High School's crosswalks were not visible, and this was creating a safety hazard for students as drivers were not yielding to pedestrians in the crosswalk. Well, a call was made to Miguel Quinones, Deputy Commissioner of Transportation with the Department of Public Works, to assist in rectifying the problem, and by Monday, September 14th, the road on the northern side of the Woodson School was clearly marked. The Office of Senator VLA is extending a wholehearted thank you to the Department of Public Works, specifically Miguel Quinones, for his swift action. Crosswalks at the Ricardo Richards Elementary School and the Alfredo Andrews Elementary School are slated to be marked as well. Now, Senator VLA wants to remind the public to use basic street crossing safety. He says, look left, then right, then left again before crossing the street. Try to establish eye contact with the driver. He says just because the driver is moving slowly does not necessarily mean the driver sees you. Make sure the driver stops before you begin to cross the street. Use the crosswalks and pay attention to traffic signals or crossing guards. Legislation holding St. John residential property tax bills at the 2012 real property tax rates will help provide some breathing room for St. John residents squeezed by heavy tax increases and the issuance of 2 tax bills in 1 year. That's according to Senator Armando Rocky Liburd. He said he is urging his colleagues to support this measure at next week's legislative session as St. Johnians require immediate relief. Senator Liburd and Senator Kenneth Gittens are sponsors of that bill, which will hold taxes at a slightly lower level until such time as the tax assessor's office could provide justification for the tax hikes or create a more practical scale for property assessment. Part of the Anguilla landfill reopened on Tuesday, although the landfill itself still remains closed. There were several fires that kept firefighters busy last week, but waste management officials say they're now under control. News2's Erica Parsons has the update.
A fire that was burning since last week at the Anguilla landfill is now completely under control, according to waste management officials.
We were able to suppress the fire from the initial incident that took place last week.
Firefighters had been battling several fires that started September 9th. Waste management officials say the last fire was suppressed on September 10th. However, waste management crews and the company's contractor continue to monitor the landfill for hotspots.
There is an area of concern at the east center of the landfill, and that is currently being addressed. We continue to meet with our contractor, A9 Enterprises, to monitor all situations at the landfill and implement best management practices to prevent fires.
Officials say the landfill still remains closed. However, on Tuesday, they reopened the scrap metal section to the public.
Yesterday, Tuesday, September 15, we reopened the scrap metal area, but the landfill, it remains closed. The transfer station is open and accepting waste from the public.
The fire, though suppressed, still burns, and monitoring crews have instructions to call the fire department if it flares up again. For now, those teams will continue to smother the blaze to keep it controlled. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Officials say the Henry Rollson Airport, which sits next to the landfill, was not affected. News 2 tried to contact the fire department for comment, but calls to the fire services director were not returned by News Time. Count on 2 to keep you updated. Meanwhile, Commissioner Don Henry of the Department of Planning and Natural Resources announces that the Division of Environmental Protection will hold a public meeting in order to solicit comments and concerns from the community on the red mud remediation work being conducted at the St. Croix Renaissance site. They are especially urging those residents in the Estate, New Works, Prophet, and Bethlehem areas to come out to this meeting and voice their concerns, as well as to hear what the department has been doing in this regard. The public meeting will be held on Thursday, September 24th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the University of the Virgin Islands Great Hall on the St. Croix campus. Also, DPNR is inviting residents of the Solberg, Scott-Free, and Northside areas of St. Thomas to a town meeting on Tuesday, September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Palms Court Harborview. They say the focus of that meeting will be to discuss the needs and concerns of residents utilizing the Solberg main site for household trash disposal and possible elimination or relocation. Tuesday marked the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. It's celebrated across the nation every year from September 15th to October 15th, where the Latino community is honored for their contributions and their history and culture are recognized. The territory also celebrates VI, Virgin Islands Puerto Rico Friendship. Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett says it's important to celebrate the accomplishments of the Latino community. Here's more.
Virgin Islanders of Hispanic descent have long contributed to this great nation and continue to serve the public and work in the interest of empowering the Virgin Islands and the Virgin Islands Latino community. This month, let us look back on the enormous contributions of the Latino community to the fabric of this country and ahead at what the great growth of the Latino community will bring for our country and for our territory.
And be sure to tune in. We'll have more on Hispanic Heritage Awareness Month. The UVI Dominica Student Association has started Dominica relief efforts geared towards and for the Dominica State College. Items may be dropped off on the St. Thomas campus Monday, September 21st and Tuesday, September 22nd. The administration and Conference Center first floor conference room will be used as a staging area for collection of the items. While students are leading the initiative, both the offices of the president and provost are providing lead logistical support. For more information, you can contact Leslie Tong at 340-693-1200. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.